Hey guys, it's Slate Empire here for another episode of Recent Purchases. This is a big one. I got one of those pickups that is like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing when you compare the price that I got everything for to what I would have to pay for it piece by piece shipped. It's just unreal. I only have 15 minutes, so I got to get cracking at it. First thing I got was from my local thrift store. Frogger 2 for Dreamcast. That was $2.92. Case, no manual, but that's okay. Then I went to Game Station that I keep talking about. Hit up the 3 for $5 NES rack like I always do. And for $10 I got these 6. Tecmo NBA Basketball. Wheel of Fortune Family Edition. 3D World Runner, Stealth, ATF, Al Unser Jr. Turbo Racing, and Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. The next thing I did something I don't normally do, and I paid retail for a game. It got made up for by some of the free things that I got, and then the pickup that I got today, which I'm saving till last to show you because it's that awesome. $14 for Final Fantasy. The only reason I picked it up for retail is I like to get most of my games in the wild, and this is like maybe only the second or third time I've seen it in the wild, and I actually had money on me to get it this time, so I had to do that. And then for 59 cents, Tecmo Bowl for Game Boy, and they threw in volumes 1 and 2 of How to Win Nintendo games for free. Now these would be about $4 each if I were to get them online gift, so that's pretty cool. And yesterday we were out just doing some shopping. I looked down on the ground, and what's sitting there? Mario Kart DS. I don't ever find stuff, so it's pretty cool to actually find something, and that's a pretty good one to have for free for sure. And then for $5, still sealed, SNK Arcade Classics 1. Now, to get into, well, let me hold on one second here. $32.51 for all that. I'll get into the totals at the end for everything. And then, my buddy Kyle, he's been telling me he has a bunch of video game stuff he knows I collect that he'll sell to me for really cheap. And I'm like, yeah, well, what do you got? And he gave me a little rundown. He didn't really say much about it at all. And then he said $50 for all of it is good. So today our schedule is actually, synced up. We both weren't working and stuff like that. So he said he could bring it on over. And as he started bringing stuff in, I was like, man, I feel like I should be giving you more money. And he's like, no, dude, $50. And he knows it's going to a good home, and he knows the stuff that I already have that I'm going to trade so I can still build onto my collection. Gosh, I guess I should just get right into it. You aren't going to believe some of these. For NES loose carts, I have all of them except for one. So the other ones are going to be for trade or for sale. The one that I didn't have, Mega Man 4. Next, it came with a manual. I have the game, but I don't have the manual, so that's getting added to my stuff, is WrestleMania. The rest of the loose carts: Legend of Zelda, Mario Brothers Duck Hunt, Fester's Quest, 2 copies of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Contra, Wrath of the Black Manta, Paperboy, Battletoads, Ghosts and Goblins, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, and Super Mario Brothers 3. Now for some boxed NES games, none of these have the manual. They have the sleeve and the cartridge in the box. I didn't have the boxes for any of these, so that's pretty cool. And one of the games I didn't have at all, and that's this one, Baseball Simulator 1000. Kung Fu, Friday the 13th, and Karnov. Okay, next on my list of stuff to go through is Super Nintendo stuff. Got a Super Game Boy, Super Nintendo Game Genie with the book, and a bunch of boxed games. Most of these are complete. There's 3 that are box only, and I'll tell you what those are when I get to them. Final Fight, that was complete. Final Fight 3, this is missing the manual, but I don't care. It looks like this game for cartridge and box is about $100. I can't even believe it. And now I have all 3 Final Fights boxed. This one's complete. Super Punch-Out. Another pretty valuable game, complete in box. Knights of the Round. This one's right around $60. Some of the stuff has stickers and stuff I still have to get off. Pit Fighter. Saturday Night Slam Masters. This is another one that has a bit of value to it for complete in box. This one's box only with cartridge. Samurai Showdown. And this one is also cartridge and box only, and that's Turtles Tournament Fighters. Now those 3 just in the box are pretty valuable for what they are. Pretty stoked about that. On to N64. There's only a couple of these that I already have. And I'll get to that too. Starting off, A Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Ready to Rumble Boxing. Duke Nukem 64. Super Mario 64, which I already have. And with the book, WWF No Mercy. Move some stuff quick here. Because I got to be able to get into this tote that's right here too. And then complete in box, Donkey Kong 64. I have that cartridge only. WrestleMania 2000, I have that cartridge only. And Resident Evil 2. Next on my list here is 2 Genesis games that are loose. The first one I have complete in box already. That's Streets of Rage 2. And this one I didn't have, King of the Monsters 2. Then, for Game Boy, Super Mario Land 2. And for PS1, Tekken 3 disc only. The manual for Suikoden. And this, which is really cool, it's an old PlayStation Underground trick-or-treat ad thing, but it's actually a demo disc for Medieval. Now, onto the stuff in the tote. Starting off, a Model 1 Sega Genesis high-definition graphics model. I've had other Model 1s, I've sold them in the past because there was people looking for stuff like that. This one I'm probably going to keep. NES console. I might keep this one too. I just want to have an extra NES, but I might consider trading it or selling it. This is going to end up in my trade box as well. Another Super Nintendo to add to that. I'm getting littered with these things. Nintendo 64 as the expansion pack. Sorry if I'm not looking into the camera too much. I'm just trying to take this all in. It's pretty fun. What a great day. Another one in the trade box, PS1. And then 2 NES controllers, power supply, an RF switch. There's actually 2 of the NES RF switches in here, but I put one with a bunch of Super Nintendo stuff, which is right here. 2 Super Nintendo controllers, another power supply, and the other RF unit. Right here is the hookups for the PS1. The zapper, which I didn't have a zapper yet. After all the NES games I have, I don't know why I didn't have a zapper. I used to. And then there's a Genesis 3-button controller. N64 controller. The thumbstick is a little loose. AV cables for, these work for Super Nintendo, GameCube, and N64. 2 N64 power supplies. And the power supply for the Model 1 Genesis. And getting down to the last stuff here, PS1 controller. And then 6 NES dust sleeves, which I don't use dust sleeves because I have so many games in there that if I had sleeves, I'd want them for all of them, and that's just my OCD. Put some of this stuff back in here, get it straightened up real quick. Now total that I spent on everything that you've seen. Ooh, there's actually one thing I forgot. I got these a couple weeks ago and I forgot to put them in. And it turns out these are pretty rare. Walkie-talkie boys, fashioned after the original Game Boys. There's only one seller on eBay selling these. And one is missing the clip, but these ones have both. And he's wanting $300 for them. I guess they are pretty rare. I think $100 is a pretty fair market value for them instead of $3. I just don't see people spending that. So yeah, $84.42 is what I spent on everything. I got those walkie-talkies for $1.91. And the value of everything altogether, not counting the consoles, the controllers, and all the hookups, because I didn't bother looking those up at all, was $819. I couldn't even believe it. Still kind of in shock about it, but it's really fun and really cool. Is there anything else I wanted to get in here? Oh yeah, and with the new additions to my NES collection, brings me up to 255 NES games, the most that I have for any console now. It just surpassed Atari 2600, which I have 251 for. So yeah, thank you everybody. My subscribers keep on climbing. I'm really loving this, and I hope to be making some more videos pretty soon. I have a couple more collecting tip ones I want to do. But yeah, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this.